अकाल चैनल नू सबसक्राइब करो नवी वीडियोस दी नोटिफिकेशन दे लई बेल आइकन नू क्लिक करना ना भूलना।
इस्माल जाली थोड़े सालों का स्वागत करने द लेट शो ऑन अकाल चैनल। हमेशा की तरह असि कोशिश करते हैं कि इंटेलेक्चुअल गेस्ट लेके आन के थोड़े लिए कुछ एजुकेशनल कुछ इन्फॉर्मेटिव प्रोग्राम लेके आइए। आज कुछ इस तरह का हिसाब है, सो यू हैव टू कीप अ लिटिल पेशेंस बिफोर मैं अपने गेस्ट नाल इंट्रोड्यूस करां। तो सब तो पहला मेरा फर्स्ट बंदा है अज मेरे नाल एक नवी लड़की बैठी है नबीला। Nabila, I welcome you on The Late Show. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much, Balji, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you very much, the Akaal channel, too.
How do you feel? How do you feel that? Good?
Okay. Nervous, but okay.
It's nice. Honestly, it's so nice. मैं हमेशा हर दफ़ा encourage करता हूँ, please किसी ने भी कुछ ऐसा experience करना हुए. And Nabila is trying for the very first time and think obviously it's a human nature. पहली दफ़ा कैमरा फेस करना is quite nerve-wracking. But I will try to my best है ना ज़रा काम रखूँगा, so it should be all right. Now मैं थोड़ा सारे guest हैं कि from the army. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट गेस्ट क्योंकि मेरा मकसद आ गया कि स्पेशली आज दो लेडीज़ ने सारे नाल आदमी भी है लेकिन जाने पछाने हस्ती असी कल्चर हमेशा उन्होंने देखते हैं। मैं होप करदा अपनी जी लड़कियां ने भैनों ने वॉच करोगे तो कोई हिंट पिक करोगे इन्होंने कोलों तो शायद थोड़ा कोई फायदा होएगा इन केस यू वांट टू जॉइन द आर्मी। ऑन माई लेफ्ट आई गॉट लैंस कॉर्पोरल मनप्रीत कौर, देन आई गो विक्टोरिया ग्रीनल and Major Sartaj Gogna. I welcome you all in The Late Show. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
How was your journey here? You come from quite far, haven't you?
It wasn't too bad, no.
It wasn't too bad?
It wasn't too bad.
Wow,
and good traffic today. So.
Working for the army, you've got to be a bit more daring, aren't you?
Absolutely, and we always have to be early.
There you go.
Yeah, 5 minutes early.
I'll try थोड़ा बहुत Punjabi बोलूँगा because it would be nice. There are a lot of Punjabi speaking listeners who देखते हैं. But before I ask you questions, Manpreet, what is I know about the major because I used to watch your dad's army, so I know what major is. I'm sorry, Sadi. Major is about young, but I'm just saying कि major दा बंदे समझ रहे हैं. Lance Corporal, what does it actually mean? What does it stand for?
Lance Corporal is a rank.
Rank.
हाँ जी, private तो start होता है, फिर
कितना start होता है?
Private, तुसी private rank तो होंदे हो, फिर slowly go up, जिस तरह तुसी ladder जिस तरीके दी होंदी है ना, so you move up the ladder. ते फिर Lance Corporal, फिर Corporal, फिर Sergeant, फिर थोड़े ranks होंदे हैं. तुसी हौली-हौली जिस तरह थोड़ा experience ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ है life stage within the army, फिर तुसी ऊपर जाते हो.
I'll be honest because I'm going to put up a brave face by saying I knew what this was. I've done a research, I know what this meant, but obviously this is from the listeners who are watching for the very first time. Manpreet, पहले मैं चाहूँगा ना कि तुसी ना it's very nice to know लड़कियाँ ना especially Asian कुड़ी अपनी army जो join कर दी है. थोड़ा जन्म कितने होया and how did you end up where you today in short term? Then we'll talk to Victoria as well.
Okay, मैं actually Delhi born India, दिल्ली मेरे पेरेंट्स अभी भी उत्थे ही रहंदे ने सो मेरा विआह होया सीगा अरेंज मैरिज ते मेरे पेरेंट्स ने मेरे वास्ते एक सूटेबल हस्बैंड लभ्या एंड दैट्स हाउ आई केम टू इंग्लैंड.
That's nice.
हाँ जी ते मैरिज डिडंट वर्क आउट एंड बट आई हैव टू लवली बॉयज जो कि उन ट्विन जुड़वा बच्चे ने मेरे.
Really? Oh, that's nice.
They're going to be 18 soon.
Okay.
Because of the marriage breakdown and I had to go through a lot of hard time.
Of course.
फिर मैं decide किया कि मैंने change it अपनी life then I had seen a lot of domestic violence.
But what did you do in Delhi before you came over? Were you studying?
I was studying, yes.
Sorry, what level did you?
मैं अपनी graduation की थी.
Graduation.
हाँ जी. ते उसके बाद जिस तरह Indian माँ-प्यो सोचते हैं कि सानू एक अपनी कुड़ी वास्ते चंगा मुंडा चाहिए. उन्होंने अपने वालों अच्छा ही किया कि अच्छा settle हो जाएगी जाके and she'll be happy. पर माँ-प्यो ने पता नहीं होता obviously कि what pain she's going to go through.
There are a lot of questions because I'm sure Nabila has got a lot of questions out for Victoria. This is what I want to come in. जब तुसी सेगा education की थी and थोड़ी अपनी ambition नहीं सी कि I want to do something or you listen to the parents get married?
हाँ जी ambition तो होता है पर वो जो माँ-प्यो दी भी respect करनी बनती है उस time जो कहते हैं तो सुनना होता है और जिस तरह मैं भी तो पता होगा कि जड़ी इंडियन कुड़ियां ने उत्ते उन्हां ते कितना प्रेशर हुंदा है कि
कल्चर फैमिली दिस इज व्हाई एग्जैक्टली हां जी
ते वो बहुत प्रेशर हुंदा है कि ਅਸੀਂ ਮਾਪੇ ਦੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਸੋ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਉਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਘਰ ਸੰਭਾਲਣਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਾਫੀ ਮਾਪੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਇੱਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਹੋਪ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਵਾਪਸ ਨਾ ਆ ਜਾਣ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਘਰ ਸੋ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਡਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੈਰੈਂਟਸ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਰਿਐਕਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ, ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਡਿਵੋਰਸ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਪ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਰਮੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਜੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ। ਬਟ ਆਈ ਵਾਜ਼ ਰੀਅਲੀ ਸਰਪ੍ਰਾਈਜ਼ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਟੈਸਟ ਪਾਸ ਕਰ ਲਏ, ਮੈਂ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ and they were really happy for me ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ, ਮੇਰੀ strength ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਗਈ।
You're reading my mind. This was my second question. How did you open up to your family? How did they feel about it? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਹਾਲ ਸੇ ਚਲੋ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਹੈ, that's I'm glad you said all that. So now obviously they're happy with the way you.
Very happy. ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰਾਊਡ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਰਮੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, they were quite shocked। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਦੀ ਇਮੇਜਿਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ। ਔਰ ਇਨਫੈਕਟ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕਦੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਮੈਂ ਆਰਮੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਕਦੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ ਸੀਗਾ। ਆਈ ਯੂਜ਼ਡ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਅ ਟੌਮ ਬॉय, ਪਰ ਕਦੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਰਮੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ। ਮਤਲਬ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਸਫਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਆ ਕੇ, ਯੂ ਨੋ, ਐਂਡ ਆਈ ਨੀਡਡ ਦੈਟ ਕੌਨਫੀਡੈਂਸ ਬੈਕ। ਆਈ ਹੈਡ ਲੋਸਟ ਮਾਈ ਕੌਨਫੀਡੈਂਸ, bad marriage और कितना कुछ होया, and I had to move home at time I was homeless, you know, and मेरी फिर मेरा right arm पूरी burn हो गई accident के अंदर। So I was at the lowest point in my life, and मैं सोचा कि नहीं कुछ different करना है, ठीक है, you know, सब job तो हैगी है, पर I want to do something different so I can gain my confidence back। ਤੇ ਆਰਮੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨੀ ਸਟਰੈਂਥ ਮਿਲੀ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਵੀ ਡਰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਰੇ ਨਾ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿਣ ਨਾ। ਨੈਚੁਰਲੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ,
going through a bad time you lose all the confidence।
Absolutely। ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਰਮੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤੀ from day one, ਮਤਲਬ ਇੰਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੌਨਫੀਡੈਂਸ ਆਇਆ from my first PFA ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੌੜਦੇ ਹੋ, ਹਨਾ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਕਰਨੀ ਪਏਗੀ, ਸ਼ੁਰੂ 'ਚ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਡਰ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਪਰ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਯੂ ਨੋ once I started doing it I had so much support। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲੀ ਆਰਮੀ ਤੋਂ, I got my confidence back। Now I've been there for 4.5 years now। 4.5 years। ਤੇ every time I look back I think absolutely brilliant। I feel so proud to be there, and I'm a completely different, changed person now। Fantastic। Completely different।
Now before you ask your question, one thing I like to say to my viewers, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੀਆਂ, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਾਰਡਸ਼ਿਪ ਹੁੰਦੀ, ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ there's always a light on the tunnel, on the other side of the tunnel। फाइट करनी पैंदी लाइफ दे विच, you have to be really fighter to succeed। तुसी मनप्रीत दी स्टोरी सुनी, very heart touching। At least you know जेडी bad story हुंदी है ना, that's a bad memory। You need to shut the door behind you and move on, and that's what you done। बहुत अच्छा लगा, I really appreciate what you done। Jeanette।
Victoria, welcome। Thank you very much for being here। Also, a little bit about yourself। So are you born and bred here?
Yes, I am. So I was born in London, and then I actually moved when I was about 9 years old to Wales।
Right, and tell me a little bit more about yourself, how you began your journey.
So when I was probably about 13 years old, I actually joined the Army Cadets because I knew that joining the army was what I wanted to do. Right. My grandfather was actually in the Royal Artillery, so he was like myself, started off at the bottom as a private and then made his way all the way through the ranks as a lieutenant colonel. So I was like, that's exactly the way that I want to go. I want to follow his footsteps.
Fantastic.
But at such a young age, I didn't have any confidence at all. I was actually very quiet, very timid in school, just played sport constantly. But I knew that the army was obviously what I wanted to do. And the Army Cadets actually brought myself and my confidence up slowly, and then obviously I did my GCSEs. I did okay in obviously my grades. I wanted to obviously go forward as an officer, but I thought, no, actually I'll do A-levels first, and then I just actually decided one day, no, I'm just going to join straight in as a soldier. So I went straight into the careers office, came home and said to my mum, I've done it.
Oh, you didn't tell them before?
No, I just literally finished school one day and then went home and went straight into the careers office and just said, I'd like to join the army. And my mum was completely ecstatic about it. Oh, wow. It took my dad quite a while to sort of get used to the idea that his little daughter was actually joining the army. But no, they absolutely love it, and I can safely say that the army has brought me out of my confidence massively. And I do say that I would never have pictured myself at the age of 13 upwards to 16 being able to sit here and talk today.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
you've come a long way.
Oh my gosh,
you've come a very long way.
Yeah.
Major Sartaj Gogna, you know, and then they say, okay, you know, it's breaking ice with the parents, and to get through this is the biggest first problem. अगर जो देखा जाए स्पेशली इन्होंने इंग्लिश है उन्होंने भी सेम प्रॉब्लम हुई एक तरह दी पर साली तो मेजर प्रॉब्लम होंगी सारी फैमिली ना जो मां को पता लगे कि मेरा पुत्र जा रहा है फौज भर्ती होने वो तो पहले ही उत्ते क्लेश पै जाता घर दे विच हाउ वाज योर जर्नी
I'm slightly concerned that there's a theme developing here. So as you might recall by my stories, I was at university, my university part of that, and I was in the middle of my pharmacy masters, and I found myself thinking this really isn't fulfilling to me. It's a perfectly good career and very respectable, and for many people it's exactly the right fit. For me, it wasn't. And I made the decision at that time at 21 years old that actually I wanted to do something different. I wanted to travel the world, I wanted a bit more excitement, and I wanted to go out and meet interesting people and go to interesting places. So I decided to join the army. Rather like Manpreet and Victoria, I chose not to tell my parents. I chose to tell them after. You
knew what the answer would be anyway.
I knew there would be some reluctance or
naturally.
They were going to be concerned. But there's going to be an element of pride there that our son, our daughter, and I work with plenty of young men and women, and their parents, when they see them finish at Purbright or their phase 1, so that when they finish their initial phase 1 training and become a soldier, the pride that exudes out every single parent.
I can imagine.
It was only a year ago that I was in Purbright, and a young Punjabi ladki who is married, has a child, was passing out from not from Sandhurst, but from Purbright, as having just finished her phase 1 training, and her husband is there, a lovely Punjabi man, who has then taken time off to make sure he can look after their daughter so that she can fulfil her ambition and become a soldier in the British Army, which I think is fantastic. If you've got the right support from friends and family, then the army's always going to give you that support when you get in. I think both Victoria and Manpreet's story are great examples of the support that we give internally. But I think an example such as that demonstrates that actually families count for a fair bit, and I think we're probably niche examples here that just by coincidence rather than by design. All of us made that decision to apply first, make sure we'd got in, make sure we had an offer on the table. And I think, when I first applied for university, I decided to make the applications, and it was when I had an offer. It was like, Mum, Dad, I've got an offer. Fantastic. Well done, Put. Pat on the back. And I think it's just the same when you're choosing to make a decision like joining the army, and it's not a small decision. It's
especially being a major now. That's a huge, big thing. That is
a big thing, perhaps. But I think it's just like anything else. It takes some dedication, some hard work, and commitment. Yes. Whatever you're doing in life requires that. But the army gives you the tools to become the best person that you can be. It allows you to fulfil your potential. You tell it what you want. You tell the system what you want, and it gives you the opportunities to really excel. Whatever your endeavours are, it gives you.
I must tell सारे viewers नो देखो सारे पास दो लड़कियां एक अपने सरदार गुरसिक मेजर आर्मी दे विच अगर किसी ने किसी तरह का सवाल है तो उसे क्वेश्चन करनी है कोई लड़कियों ने पूछना प्लीज डू कॉल अस ऑन 0208 571 4279 the lines are open किसी भी तरह का सवाल तो कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए प्लीज डू कॉल अस we can take your calls जी
Yes, Victoria Manpreet, I know as growing up as a child when the word army was mentioned, it was a man's field, as we say. Army to me was, but only men go into the army, right? Yeah. Not women. Growing up as a child, of course I've come to learn so much more about it. How do you feel working amongst men?
Men.
Yeah, men. How does it feel?
Be careful, there's a major
Yes,
Victoria.
Well, I'm actually, so I'm an engineer, but by trade I'm actually a tank driver, so I'm armoured within the engineers, and I'm the first ever female to ever do that within the British Army. So that's obviously put me instead to be the only female, and I've been the only female for 4 years, and I can safely say that I've actually never had any problems. Obviously, with what we say, there's sexism in society, and you are going to get that in the army, but it's dealt with, and it's dealt with professionally and properly, and dealt with as soon as possible. But no, the boys have always welcomed me. Yeah, there might be times where I do struggle, as in on the physical aspect, or so maybe out on a run or something like that, but they have helped me sort of push myself out of that barrier.
Yes.
And it's like having an extended family. So
that's fantastic.
I've always said I've worked with 160 guys, and it's like having 160 brothers.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
One thing I've seen, where Victoria said earlier, that at the age of 13, 14, she knew what she wanted to do. She had made up her mind, open. There was no doubt or any discussion with anyone, or even the parents. But you were like a lost child. You were going through a bad time. You know, how did you decide, and why the army?
I thought, I spoke to actually when I was on my own, I spoke to my friend, a very close friend, and I said, I'm not sure what to do. Really, I'm really lost. I just can't find a direction. He goes, what would you like to do? How would you take the aggression out? How would you take your anger out that you're so upset in yourself? And why don't you join a running club? And I thought that idea was really pathetic. I was like, why would I join a running club? Why don't I saw then one day I saw a poster for the army, and I thought, why don't I join the army? Because that means I can do lot many different things.
You saw the accident, you just saw the poster?
I just saw the poster, and I was
yeah.
just so fascinated, and it was Signals at the time, 94 Signal Squadron. And I was so amazed. I just walked in and I said, oh, can I just fill out a form? And they said, oh, don't you want to think about it and find out a bit more? And I thought, yeah, probably it might be a good idea. And so I looked at the whole picture in terms of what the expectations were, how many number of days I would be expected to go away for, and so on and so forth. And I read it, and following week I came back and I said, yeah, I'm ready for it. And that was it. I knew I wouldn't get a lot of support, and my friends were not in favour of me joining, and they were like, "You're crazy, you know, you will be sent away somewhere to Afghan or somewhere. You're just mad. Don't do that. What will happen to your children?" But I was adamant that the only way I could get my strength back was to do something very strong, and get rid of all the anxiety that I had in myself. Yes. To overcome all my fears and everything that I was worried about. And I think I successfully got to that point in my life where I'm so happy that I've done that. I've made the right decision, regardless of what my friends would have advised me against it, or my family would have might said at the time. You
know, this is what I do on my late show. I'm not being modest. I get intellectual people because when, like Nabila said, when the word comes army, immediately no. You know, because sorry, I think I'll carry on. There's a question I will not forget. We'll take a call first. Hello.
Hello.
Who's speaking? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London. I would make some inquiries. I'm currently looking at my son join the armed forces. I would like to get some knowledge about how Sikhs are accommodated within the armed forces. If somebody could comment on that, please. If the major or one of the other colleagues would comment on that, please.
Hi, thank you for calling. The army, like all the services, is a place which embraces diversity, and we want inclusion in every aspect, because diversity of thought, diversity of culture brings the ability to think outside of the box. And what we always try to avoid is groupthink. We always want people that are thinking differently, so that we can come up with novel solutions to complex problems in any environment that we are. When it comes to the specifics of faith and ethnicity, they're embraced fully. So as you can see, I wear the star, I grow my beard, and I keep my cash, which is fully supported within the armed forces, and every provision is made. If you're vegetarian, then Sikh vegetarian rations are provided, and essentially every eventuality is taken into care. For those that choose to keep all 5 the card, then everyone's perfectly entitled to wear the kirpan whilst they're conducting any training. Obviously within the realms of health and safety, and certain assessments do need to be conducted, and everything that we can do to accommodate an individual's needs, faith-based or otherwise, are taken into account.
Thank you very much. I hope that answered your question, sir. Thank you for calling Akaal channel. Thank you. I must mention Major Sartaj Gogna is the chairman of the British Armed Forces Sikh Association,
Yes.
which is quite good. So how do you help people with that, being the chairman of the association?
The association is there to help service personnel with any queries they've got. For example, actually, we've got an individual who's going through training, and he needs a new his regiment want to present him with a new bug as a congratulations for finishing the training that he's doing. So they've turned to us and said, excuse me, where do we go? Where do we get the material for the start? How do we? What's the most appropriate thing to do? So we're then supporting the chain of command in supporting its soldiers. There are soldiers, if they've got any queries when it comes to their promotion, if they're not necessarily comfortable talking with their immediate chain of command, so the people that they immediately work for, or they want somebody to be able to give them an alternative opinion on their either their promotion or career courses, or how they should tackle certain issues, then we offer a soundboard, an opportunity for them to have an informal discussion where it's not about who they work for or what they're doing, and it just gives them some very informal advice, and we point them in the right direction. So if, for example, there was an instance of sexism or racism that needed to be tackled, we would give them the tools and say, okay, these are the people that you need to speak to, and we will follow that up and make sure that those issues are dealt with. And within the armed forces, we've got 17 different networks. So the British Armed Forces Sikh Association is just one of them. Obviously we've got the faith networks for the Hindus, the Muslims, the Buddhists. We've got Christian Officers Union. We've got lots of different ones, and then obviously we cater for the LGBT community as well. And each one of those niche groups have their representatives who are there to support those individuals, and we all offer the same advice. We all generally signpost to the same individuals, but with this, there's not necessarily a comfort blanket, but there's an opportunity to say, here are some like-minded individuals as yourself. They might have experienced the same problems that you have. You might want to have a chat with them.
All right. We only got 1 minute. I can't ask you a question because then obviously won't be able to answer my question. We'll have some more questions after the break.
Absolutely.
It's quite few important things because I need to concentrate more, not neglecting you, sir, but what I meant was I'm trying to encourage ladies to watch this program, and hopefully they'll pick some hint from you and thinking, hang on a minute, like you said, you look at the poster. Now, ਅਸੀਂ ਬੜੇ ਖੁਸ਼ਕਿਸਮਤ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਾਸ ਖੁਦ ਦਾ Akaal channel ਹੈ. You don't have to look, I'm not saying don't look at the poster, of course, but then Akaal channel goes to 106 countries. There's just over 1 million people who watch this program. I hope there must be some hint to pick culture tonight from these young ladies, and that can change your life. If you're totally lost in the if you're just lost at the moment thinking, okay, what shall I do, where shall I go? I'm not giving you advice because don't talk to your parents, but do talk to them. Find your way in first, get somewhere, and then you can tell the parents, is that right, Dad?
I agree.
What have you decided? What you going to do?
Going to join the army. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Thank you very much. अच्छी थोड़ी सी छोटी ब्रेक लेने हैं. Please ऐसी तरह जुड़े रहना. ब्रेक तो बाद फिर जो मुलाकात होती है तब तक रब रखो.
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ
To the second part, अगर तुसी हुणी join किया सारे पास आर्मी वाल Lance Corporal Manpreet and Victoria Grinnell and Major Sartaj Gogna. बड़ी इन्फॉर्मेटिव बड़ी एजुकेशनल प्रोग्राम हैगा कि जे बच्चों की ਅਸੀਂ हेल्प करते हैं अगर ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ 0208 571 4279 ਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ time goes pretty quick so don't leave it till the last minute ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਲ ਲੈ ਸਕਾਂਗੇ ਪੂਰੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ
Right, so if I could just kindly ask, what requirements do you need to join the army? Any education? And what about the physical side? I mean...
I think the education is not, it doesn't matter where you start from as long as you've got the, I don't think even if it is a GCSE requirement as such, but if you have, then that's really good. I mean, I was a graduate when I joined, so it wasn't an issue at all. But they give you an assessment, and then they assess your level, what level you're at.
Okay.
So it is not a major issue.
Right, okay.
But you do get questions asked when you join in for the interview, the education.
Yeah, you do get interviewed. Yeah, it's a selection process that you have to go through. It depends, if you're joining the regular or the reserve, whether, where you're having your selection. It is either a weekend long or 3-day long selection, and then the same thing with the physical side. You are tested on your abilities. You do your 1.5-mile run where you're tested, and you have to do it within a certain time frame. And then you have to do sit-ups and press-ups within certain time limits. So you're tested on it, yeah.
It's fairly hardcore.
But then again, you're given all the support from there on, and you develop from there. That's just a start. Yes, that's the basic requirement, but once you get to that point, then you always go up from there.
Right. Okay.
So I was when I joined, it was kind of. I was pretty much at the bottom. I could just about pass, and then by the time I finished my training, I was kind of amazingly super fit.
I guess it wasn't what you expected, right? Did you struggle?
At the very start, yes, because I'd never done any running before.
Of course.
And it was just everything was just so new to me.
Yeah.
And when you actually run with other people, it's quite encouraging because you see others doing it, and then you were just
that motivates you.
Absolutely that. And then I was running. Yeah, I was running.
It gets easier. It gets easier.
One thing I need to know,
gets easier.
Manpreet was obviously going through the bad time with the family and the marriage and all that.
Yeah.
And then obviously she's trying to put her life together, try to start anew fresh in her life. Generally, you would find it difficult to concentrate and move on quicker.
Yes.
Now, you were a carefree child, happy.
Yes.
And you decided what from the young age you're going to be the army.
Yes.
Obviously, that makes a difference, doesn't it? Because you all in there, and she was like, there was things her past was pushing her back, holding her back.
Yeah.
Were you at more advantage on that?
In what way do you mean? So.
I mean, she had a family problem and the marriage problem going through.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest burden on the brain or the mind.
Yeah.
You're trying to cope with personal life.
Yeah.
Then you join the army. There's a lot of stress for you to go through different exercises, different exams to be where you are today. She had a lot to cope with her life before she got to where she is today. But you were carefree child.
Yes.
Happy child.
Yes.
And you were all in there, putting in 100% effort. I'm not saying that she wasn't. Of course, she was putting 100% effort.
Yeah.
But was it easier for you?
No, I'd probably say it wasn't easier. I remember ringing my mum on week 3 and saying, I think I don't want to do this anymore. Can you come pick me up? To which she said, no, you can do this.
That was my question actually as well. Okay.
So you can do this.
Really?
And she actually picked me back up again. But the thing is, you get people obviously from all different backgrounds with all different histories, and it's the girls that get you through it. So obviously you're not mixed when you go through basic training. You are boys with boys and girls with girls, and that's how it is. You do have mixed, obviously, not sections but platoons, so you can go on exercise with the guys. But the girls, because you live together, you eat together, you pull each other through it, and you do help each other.
Fight against the men as well in the army.
Well, we've got to prove that females are better.
Sorry, Victoria, we take a call, yeah?
No.
Can we take a call?
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
First of all, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, just about. Who's calling and where are you calling from, sir?
First and foremost, can I say thank you very much to 3 individuals from the armed forces. I would like to ask a question in regards to education. My son is currently looking at joining the armed forces, and I'm looking for him to be a lawyer within the armed forces or something of that nature. Could somebody please comment on that, perhaps if one of the colleagues, your 3 colleagues, could comment on that?
Yeah, before they answer, can I ask your name, please, sir, if you don't mind?
My name is Jagdeep.
Jagjit, thank you very much for calling us. बहुत अच्छा लगता है, appreciate करते हैं. This
बहुत appreciate करते हैं जे सर्विस कर रहे हैं ਅਸੀਂ और बहुत टाइप से धन्यवादी है कि ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ I would like to gain some knowledge of this.
ਭਾਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਂਗੂ you don't run wildly ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ. Thank you. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣੋ. I'll ask one of the army guys to answer your question. Thank you ਮੇਰੇ ਭਰਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣੋ. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
So in answer to your question, it depends really on where an individual is in terms of their education. So, for example, for a lawyer, if they've done their A-levels and they're looking to go to university, the Army offers scholarship and bursary opportunities. So they can proceed to university and their university fees are paid for and covered by the Army to one degree or another, depending on the level of bursary or sponsorship that they get. And thereafter, they're then able to join the Army and serve a minimum 3 years. And if they like it, they can then continue. I'll take a step back for a moment, if I might. If you have a school child having done their GCSEs who wants to go down a technical route, so wants to become an engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer and the Army paid for my education. Victoria's an engineer and the Army's paid for her MVQs. However, if your son or daughter would like to go off and do a technical qualification, they can either go to the Army Foundation College in Harrogate where they get an apprenticeship, or they can go to the Defence Sixth Form College in Welbeck where they can do technical A-levels, so science, technology, engineering, maths based, and they are then put into a fast stream system where they go off to university, and again the Army takes the bill for their university fees, and they can then serve within the armed forces again for a minimum period of 3 years. Equally, if your son or daughter wants to become a lawyer and is already qualified, then we have within the Army Legal Services as part of the Adjutant General Corps, and there are job opportunities either as a regular, full-time or a reservist part-time officer or soldier. They will have the opportunity to practice their criminal or civil law within the armed forces.
Actually, thank you very much to answer Kita. I think the other thing what he meant was, again, when you start Kita, when you talk about the Army, immediately mind chanda it's something to do, you're going to go on the border de upar jana, it's holding the guns and all those kind of things. So the concept bada wrong. This is why we do the program. So you got various jobs within the Army. So engineer, sorry, Manpreet, what do you actually do with it?
So I'm with 7MI, but I'm connected to them through AGC. So I do all the HR stuff as well as I go with them to do different things in terms of intelligence work and so on.
So there's a lot of jobs like a pharmacist or any kind of.
So we've got in the Army, you've got over 200 different trades.
Wow.
Mention me like half a dozen quick.
So if carpenter, plumber, bricklayer.
Oh my God, you would never think of this.
No, exactly. No. But we need those. So when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan, we needed somebody to help build the bases that we were working in. So yes, some of those are contracted, but there are some places you wouldn't send a contractor. We've got mechanics, electronics technicians, aircraft technicians, avionics technicians. We've got linguists, analysts. Yeah. So I've had the opportunity to be trained as an Arabic linguist. I've been a cultural specialist, so I've gone off and spent a fair bit of time in the Middle East. I'm a qualified mechanical engineer. I'm also, we're talking about education, so I'm currently reading for a Masters at King's College in Military and Security Studies. I'm about to start my MBA.
Wow.
So when it comes to
opportunities, I think opportunities are endless. You get so much through the Army.
Honestly, this is what I said in the beginning. Educational, this is an educational program because the number of jobs you can do within the Army, this is incredible.
I think that the interesting thing here is you're only limited in the Army by what you want to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
very well said. Very well said.
I'm an avid mountaineer. I love climbing mountains and rock climbing.
Jagdeep, I hope to answer your question and kuch ho to jawab hona, you can always call back again. Thank you for the call karanda. Nat, any questions you can ask?
Yes. your future plans. So, you know, how long are you planning on being in the army or staying? I mean, you know, sorry, Victoria, you mentioned well, you look fairly young.
Yes.
So, you know, how long are you planning on staying in the army? Is this something that you wish to do for many,
Actually,
many years?
before she answers, there's one thing you made it very clear. There was a point that we were thinking whether you wanted to pack up and go back home. That time's passed, that's gone now. You've gone well over that now.
Yes, definitely.
So there's no going back again.
There's no going back.
No.
Yeah, because you obviously, you know, you've got a grade now.
Yeah.
You're almost, I don't know, half the way or wherever. There's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, Nabila's question, please.
So, yeah.
No, I definitely want to make it a career. My partner's actually in the military as well, so it's a lot easier.
Of course.
But I want to do 22 years. Hopefully my ambition
Wow.
is to go to Sandhurst and actually commission as an officer, but we shall see how that goes. But no, definitely a future career, because the army has so much to offer.
Yes.
I've done adventure training, so if you love playing sport, so
Yes.
netball's my sport.
Okay.
I've been to Barbados for a week to represent the Royal Engineers, and it was a
Really?
fantastic time away.
fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
brilliant time. You can do anything. I've been to Austria, I've been skiing, I've been snowboarding, I've been mountain climbing, anything you can think of, I've probably tried it once.
So the perks of is also travelling.
Yeah,
you get to
massively.
travel doing
Yes.
what you do,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, you get paid for it.
Fantastic.
You get paid for
Absolutely.
traveling and playing and, you know, all the sporting
brilliant.
events that you can go on. If you love sports,
Absolutely.
this is the place.
Yeah.
Absolutely, this is the place to come along.
Okay.
And you've got 200 different jobs that you can apply for. I mean, which other employer does that? Which employer will pay you
That's right.
to come on board and get paid for going on sporting events?
Exactly.
Including, I mean, I've done skiing, I've done different sports as well, sent to different countries. It's absolutely amazing. The opportunities are
Yes.
just endless, whether you want to study or you want to play. This is just the right place.
It's
to be.
phenomenal.
And there is a lot of support. You never feel on your own.
Yes.
You're always in
Yeah.
a big team who is always there for you. You do everything together.
I must say one thing, you know, because this 1 hour is not enough to talk about the army, the opportunities you have.
Yeah.
And obviously people will have to go to the website, keep watching Akaal channel, we'll bring you to it within 1 hour, whatever we can. This is where we come in, especially in the late show. Manpreet, I believe you have 2 boys.
That's correct. I've got
They were the twins?
Yes, they are twins.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
How do you cope with the family life and the army?
It's not difficult actually. I see them as a support. They're very they're very supportive. When I see them, I just feel yes, okay, I think I want to be an example for them that okay, life isn't going to be easy. There are going to be a lot of hurdles. It's how you cope. It's the principles that I've learned. It's the values that the army has actually given me. Have that courage, have that discipline in life. Be able to respect, have that integrity and loyalty in life, and I can give that to my children. And I feel really proud to be able, so they can look at me and think, yeah, my mum is hardworking, and I could have easily probably gone and claimed benefits like some of the people, It's easy to go down, but it's hard to come up. So if you've got those values, you will always see yourself up
I'll
there.
add something onto this. It's not only your children who admire you, you 2 young ladies. There's a world out there who admire seeing you 2 ladies in the army. Inspiration, you're the role models. Honestly, we are proud of you and keep up the work.
Absolutely.
Keep Britain safe. That's what you need to do.
Absolutely, yes.
I think, you know what, the time goes so quick. I always complain. जब मैं पंजाबी च कहूँ ना अच्छा जरा टाइम है ना बड़ा दुश्मन है इंसान दा. You can never catch it. You got to run after the time and catch it. Some people do catch it and they become successful like yourself. The other people who are still running try to catch up with the time. Anyway, we only got like 9-10 minutes to go. One by one, I'd like you to look at the camera, young lady. Give your advice to the people, young ladies watching you out there. Give them a hint why should they join the army, what's good in there. Well, you said it in your interview, but in short words.
I think it's amazing if you like teamwork, if you love sports, if you want to make something out of this life, it's definitely worth joining the army. It gives you a lot of strength. It is very positive. I would, if I was younger, I wish I had joined when I was 18. But I just absolutely love it. I would encourage everyone to try it once. It will change your life forever, and you will never ever look back. And that's the
Same question to you, Victoria. What message would you give to all those women out there watching this today?
I believe that if you enjoy pushing yourself out of your boundaries and you know that you've got more to offer, then the army is definitely suited for you. You can literally do anything you like, and it's like having an extended family as well, as I've said previously. It's like gaining another, well, up to 150 family members, so what else could you want, really? But if you enjoy keeping yourself physically fit and, as I've said, pushing yourself away from that boundary level, then the army is definitely for you.
I think most of my sandwiches have been stolen. But you've said it so eloquently. All I can really say is that if you've got a sense of adventure, if you want to travel, if you want to improve your lot and gain qualifications that you can use in any walk of life, take the opportunity to have a look at regular service or reserve, so full-time or part-time, and see what we can offer you, because there's bound to be something. And even if you choose not to join the army, understand what it does. It's there to keep, as Bal said, it's there to keep Britain safe. It's there to keep you safe. And it's made up of people just like you. I'm no different from you out there, and certainly as inspirational as Manpreet and Victoria both are, they're both just normal people. The army will give you everything you need to be a better person. Take that opportunity and you'll find somewhere where you belong.
बहुत अच्छी गल है, पर एक दूसरी बहुत important चीज़, अच्छी तरह we're talking about the army at the moment, but then there are various jobs within the army. Then there's an air force, then there's a navy, and all these got a different jobs available. Whatever you want to do, from carpentry, from plumber, from construction work, you know. In my mind, I don't think people watching this, they ever knew until tonight that these are the jobs they can apply for the army.
Yeah, very true, very true. And yeah, we've just hinted there at a number of the jobs that are available. Now, I've got particularly good friends who are pharmacists, dentists, doctors, lawyers, all serving in uniform. I've got a good friend of mine who's an orthopaedic surgeon. And that's his training's been paid for by the army because he chose to join. And the benefits of service life, irrespective of whether it's RAF, Navy or the army, are immense. We've spoken and mentioned here about adventure training, about education, about the travel, but the maternity package is fantastic. The paternity package is fantastic. We're looking at flexible working hours which allow people to really look and invest in their family time and make sure that they don't deploy on operations or exercise, so they don't go overseas if they don't want to for that short period. We're working on how we do that.
That's good.
We're giving schemes and creating schemes so people can buy their houses and have a stable family life and be in the army at the same time and be in the forces at the same time. All those opportunities are there. We are gender free and gender fair in every aspect. When it comes to reports, when it comes to promotion, Victoria and Manpreet are great examples of it doesn't matter who you are, you can promote. If you've got the right skills, if you demonstrate the right qualities, there's an opportunity for you to grow and promote. And it's done meritocratically.
It's been an eye-opening, honestly, very much eye-opening. Obviously, we do a lot of homework before we sit here, like myself and Nabila. Honestly, it's not just ringing you or sending an email, calling you on the set. I need to know a lot more, but then obviously we're trying to pass on to the viewers as well. Very informative, very educational. Ji, Nabila.
So I wanted to ask, quickly, is the army a full-time job? I mean, do you have part-time jobs, or is this what you do? Is this army is...
I knew she was going to come say something like that. Part-time job.
It's
a part-time job.
You can pick and choose if you want to be a regular,
right,
or you want to be a reserve. I have switched from regular to reserve,
right? Okay.
When required, depending on my.
So you're your own boss. You can work.
When I wanted to study, I decided, okay, I want to do this part-time.
Right.
That would be easier. And when I wanted to go into regulars, you can pick and choose, and it's not difficult. You can switch.
Okay.
And they support you with it. They want fund you there, and they'll make everything possible where you can actually do it. So you can choose. It's not an issue. If you're a reserve, you do minimum requirements is 27 days.
Right.
You can do more if you're going on, adventure training or studying or whatever you decide to do. But if you're full time, then again, you're there.
Right.
You're getting paid for it, regardless of whether you're studying or you're working or you're playing sports. So yeah, it is endless opportunity.
Jamila, one thing I must say to you, especially when anybody, whether a lady, a girl or a man, is in the uniform, it's wow.
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't it? Don't they look so
I think I want to join the army simply because of the uniform. So if now somebody asks why you'd like to join the army, I'm going to say it's because you can look so lovely in a uniform.
No, honestly, you're walking on the street where I should wherever, or you go any events like, there are different days you go out undercover and sing apne Sardar fully good Sikh, then you see the ladies in a uniform. Honestly, it's a wow factor. It's so we as a community and being part of the Britain, we're so proud of you people.
We are indeed, honestly.
We're so proud.
I have to be very honest. Great role models for your children, for women like myself. It's an inspiration. So thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, thank you.
So I say, wish you well in your life, and I really hope soon, very soon, you come back and sit there as a Major Manpreet and Major Victoria.
Yes, absolutely. We have no doubt.
and retired Major Sultan.
I don't think anybody said see the day I retire.
No.
But this is so interesting, honestly, so informative. Immediately, army, there is so negative thinking, especially Mahamadi. They say, over my death body, you're going to go to the army. Yeah, not knowing it's such a vast opportunity you can do, and then the perks and the opportunity you get, Well,
over 70% of our jobs are not frontline facing, so you'd expect, the army to be made up of infantry soldiers and people driving tanks. That's just not the case. Over 70% of our jobs are there to support that activity. Yes, we get all the perks. We get to travel. We get to do some really interesting things. There are just so many things that people don't necessarily know, and take the opportunity to learn about the forces. Have a look at the Army website. Have a look at our Instagram page and our Facebook. We tweet about our activities on a very regular basis. And for those of you that get invited to an Army engagement event, please come along. Like I say, we're your Army, and we open you with welcome arms to discuss and learn more.
And Victoria, how many girls are currently in the army at the moment? Is there a wide range, or is there?
It's between 7,000 and 8,000 females in the army in total.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Yes.
Wow, it's that's a lot.
And it's increasing.
And it is, it's increasing.
We're encouraging a lot.
What was the Asian figure?
As far as British Asian females are concerned, I couldn't give you a number off the top of my head. I mean, with statistics of ethnic minorities in the armed forces, we're about 10.9% off the top of my head. Of that, if we break that down, about 4% of that is British minorities versus foreign Commonwealth. So we can break that down.
Raji, thank you very much again for coming up. I really appreciate you giving up your time, and Nabila, you as well.
Pleasure, Paul.
How did you feel? Good.
Fantastic.
ऐसे तरह तुसी प्रोग्राम देखते रहना. Next week same time same place पर मुलाकात होगी. ते तब तक रब रखा. वाहिगुरू का खालसा, वाहिगुरू की फतेह.
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ। ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ।